Better change that picture in the background. So here we are, a little match that I've joined just as it started. We've got a race to 15 in a game of 9-ball between Mr. Bill from the United States and Acero, who I believe is from China, not China, Japan. So we've got an international match here. And Acero is into a 2-0 lead. Right, let's have a look and see what the table settings are, because I seen they were discussing what the setup was going to be. Well, normal settings, it's a tournament table, the narrow pockets, no difference there. Let's have a look at the rule options. We've got alternate break, call money off, spot money off, rack money is on, so that means the 9-ball is racked on the head spot, I believe, and they've had a lag to start the match. There's no jump cues in it, which well, Bill is normally deadly with the jump cue. So both players are going to have to kick out of snookers. Just double check with the chaps if they don't want it. If they don't want it streamed, we'll knock it in the head. So Acero looks as if he's going to get off to a good start here. 3 racks and a bounce. Very strong player. I think he's one of these players, he doesn't specialise in one game, he plays 2 or 3 games. Billiards is one of them. And straight pool's another one he's pretty good at. And well, the alternate break worked there. Bill get the 9-ball in the break, that gets him off the mark. Just having a look at the stream, see how we're doing. Hopefully we've got audio this time. I better not type that, I better not start chatting. I'll just hope it's recording the audio. That one time I did a recording here, it wasn't recording the audio. I don't know what the hell went wrong. So hopefully it's working. In fact, I can certainly check that, but that would be even more annoying as well. I've just realised, looking at the stream, I've got two heads together. On the stream, my head in the corner and the picture in the corner. Need to get rid of that at some point. Anyway, back to this race to 15. Acero has hooked himself in the 2. Can't jump, of course. Well, you can jump all you want with the playing queue, but you won't get a lot of success out of it. So this is where Acero has the advantage of his 3 cushion skills. We'll see if that works. Now into his extension. And he's going all around the 2 ball. Just give me a sec, I think I've still got something. Right, we are back. And all of a sudden my nose has got itchy. So Bill at the table. And problem ball's going to be the 7 on the left hand side. Oh, he's not a Japanese player, he's got a Japanese flag. That is good enough for me. Or you can be anybody you want in Virtual Pool 4, you can be anybody you want in online. So I presume that the audio is coming through in the stream. You can hear the audio. I'm talking about me talking, I'm not talking about the game. Make sure my mic's working. Well, you must be able to hear it if you're telling me that Acero isn't. Is that to say not Japanese or #1 Japanese player? Ah, I can't read. I need to lean away over to try and read the text on my second monitor. So Bill is going to get another one back. After that strong start from Acero, we're now at 3-2. I'm sure I read that it is alternate break. Let me just double check. Yeah, alternate break. So that was a rack against the head, as they say. Acero broke in it, but Bill's run out. And I never did see how he managed to get that 7 ball. I wasn't paying attention. But it looks to be fairly straightforward here. The only problems Bill's going to get will be his own making. And it should be tied up 3-all in a minute or 2. Well, he's going to be struggling over this 8 ball though. That's probably the worst place he could have left the cue ball. And he's aiming down in the cue ball and trying to pick the potting angle in the 5. Well, he's back in position more or less. And there's about a 4.5 to 5 second delay on the stream. Just counting the seconds there between the shots. So Bill has, well, what's happened there? Bill's blown his chance. Acero get back in again. I wasn't paying attention. Oh dear. Anyway, it should have been 3-all. It's now ending up 4-2 to Acero. And a strong break. A couple of balls have gone in. 5 ball and the 8 ball. The 7 ball, sorry. And an extremely thin cut in this one if he's going to sink the 1 ball. That's a good shot. He needs to hit that 4 a bit firm. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's hooked in the 2. Can catch the edge of it. Well, he's just left it in the open, so Bill needs to take this chance. Now the angle he's got in the 2, he can get round behind the 4 and the 9 if he wants to, and get back up into this bottom half of the table as we're looking. Plenty of room to do that. Now, the angle he's got in the 3, he can drop down past that 9. He needs to make sure he goes past though. Doesn't want to hook himself. Plenty of room to get there. And here's the first crucial shot. He's close to the rail. And he's got to get back down the table here for this 6 ball. And that looks reasonably good. He can stun in behind the 8 for the 8 ball into the same pocket. No, he's gone the other way. Leave it in the shorter side. Now this is where the shot can go wrong. Doesn't want to get in the middle of this 9 ball. And that is more or less where he's finished. So now he's got a choice. He's got a cut or a bank. The bank looks the better option. He can cut it into the right middle. He can cut it into the top right. He can bank it into the left middle. There's his choices. He's going for the cut, and in it goes. That makes up for the last rack, so still trailing by 1. Now that 5 ball was tracking to the bottom right pocket there. That little kiss in the 7 just killed it. So a dry break. And it looks that these balls are sitting reasonably well here. There's nothing blocking anything else really. The 4 ball certainly is hidden behind the 9 up there, but that goes. The only problem with the 4 ball is hitting the 9, but there's plenty of room to get that cue ball out there. You don't want to go too far to the left of the table because the 7 can then block your angle in the 5. So let's see what Acero does. He's gone round behind it. And the similar problem here is hitting the 7 ball. That can affect the shot trying to go over for the 6. And he spun it. A lot of inside English, spun it around a corner, took the connection with the 7 ball out of the equation. Well, two ways to play this shot. You can play it with a bit of bottom and come back to the left and up the left hand side of the 9, and you can go forward. So he's gone the straightforward way, good pace and perfect in the 9. And so Acero opens up the 2-rack gap again. Leads by 5-3. Something, a couple of balls have dropped somewhere. Oh, the 9 ball was one of them. So that's very quickly improved Acero's lead no end. He now leads 6-3. No shot in the 1, no. Now the push out's played. Acero has a choice of playing the shot or putting his opponent back in, which is exactly what he's done. So Bill now has a thin cut in this one. He can see enough of it to pot it, but a really tough shot. So he's been forced into backing up his own push out there, and it's gone wrong. He's now scratched. So that was a right move by Acero. Ball in hand. Everything sitting there. Just check my little doodle's working. And it's definitely working. Doesn't want to go dead straight on this 5, and that's pretty straight, so he's going to try and just squeeze a little angle there, and that was all the difference it made in getting out for that 6. He had to push the 5 offline, and these pockets, we've seen it hundreds of times, if you don't get it right, they're going to hang up. So this is a lifeline for Bill here, and he's really got to take it. 6-3 behind. And he's just gone a bit too far in the 7, I think. He can just run through off the rail and back out. Plenty of room to go on the 9. So it's back to 2. Acero to break. Alternate break. This time Acero's come up dry. Bill can just squeeze up past the 8 ball for that 2. And he's gone a little bit too far again. Now the problem here is that the path the cue ball wants to take is going to go dangerously close to that 8 ball. And he's found a gap. Well, that's a bonus. That really is a bonus. And the 5 ball goes past the 6. Bill should have already had a look at that. So it's all about getting nice on this 4 to drop onto the 5. And I think he can just roll through. I think he's pretty straight. That's a decent enough angle. That was it. The only real place that could go wrong there is avoiding that 8 ball when he was going up the table, and he just found a gap between the 8 and the 5, and that worked out a treat. This time he needs to get to the top half of the table. But he's short again. Eight balls wide open, so it shouldn't be a problem, but the cue ball's just running up the table. So now he's got to get the judgment right. I think there's a slight angle there, just to draw up the table and get on the 9. These kind of shots, you don't spend too long looking at them. You use your natural instinct to pot these. The more you look at them, the more it's going to go wrong. So in goes the 9, and Bill's got the break. So another rack against the head, and breaking off in rack number 12, still trailing by 1. And a good break, but nothing doing at all. And I think the only saviour there is the fact that Acero hasn't got a shot in the 1. He'll settle for that. Bill just going to kick in behind the 1. And I don't think you want to kick this too hard. You want to try and hit it half ball. Well, 1 ball's on into the middle. Acero's having a look at the 3 ball, see if it goes past the 7. Which it does. Probably a little roll around the corner here, maybe. Or is he just going to stun off the rail? He wants to take it into the left middle. That's a good angle to drop behind the 4. He's going to be playing the 4 at distance though. And he could have played that better. He's actually checked the cue ball up. And he's stopped it running. And he's left it a little awkward. But no problem. Here's the important one. Getting from the 5 up to the 6. And again, a good angle. No excuses in getting there. Well, Bill just can't get back onto even Stevens here. Acero determined to keep this gap. So the gap opens up again to 2 racks, 7-5, and another rack against the head. 4 ball goes in, 8 ball goes in, but no shot in the 1. Now he could possibly play a draw off the 1 and billiard that 7 in. That might be a possibility. He's looking at it. And in goes the 7. And he's still got a shot in the 1. That was well controlled. Can drop the 1 in. And he'll leave himself a nice angle in the 2 to get up for the 3. And this is where a lot of virtual pool players, just as in real life, they play to a certain level and they can never take their game to that next level that these guys play at, because they're thinking about the shots they're having to play. Whereas a lot of other guys, they don't have that control over the ball. And, well, that's very often why their visits at the table are short. You should be watching these guys to see how it's done. You have to strive to take your game to that next level. It's, you know, it's fine you can pot balls. Everybody can pot balls in Virtual Pool 4. But it's stringing them together and controlling that cue ball. So it's now gone to 8-5. So Acero's halfway home in the race to 15. And breaking off in rack number 14 is Bill. Gets a ball in the break. I think that 7 ball's done him. Yep, he can pot the 1. He just needs to swerve around out the 7. A little bit of left-hand English, but he's just playing the safe. I've got no doubt that Acero is going to go for the cut on this 1 down the rail. Cue ball's going to go over to the the left-hand side of the table. Or is he? Let's have a look what he's doing here. Nope. He's thinking about his options. He's got a reasonable chance of a good safety here, though. Try and get that cue ball in behind the bunch of balls in the corner pocket here. No, he's gone all out for it, and the cue ball has come out far enough. That's a good shot. Sitting nice on the 2. And if he can draw into that 6 ball, and that'll hold him for the 3. That's maybe gone a bit straight. No, he's got enough angle. Can get that cue ball around with a bit of left-hand English. Needs to watch the 7 though. He's okay. Well, a little bit short in the 6. One of those nasty little cutbacks. Very easy to overdo it. And it goes clean. So the gap is going to go to 4 racks. Acero leading by 9 racks to 5. Seven balls going in. I don't think that 1 will pass the 4. It doesn't. So, but he's got a good safety here. Can tuck that 1 ball up by the 5 and 9. Well, that wasn't a great shot. plenty of room to get that one ball tucked away. But he's not left anything here easy for Bill. It's a very thin cut into the right middle. And he sent it to the jaw. So Acero got lucky there, played a poor safety, and didn't leave anything easy for Bill. And Acero might gain from that miss. The 5 ball goes. There's no problem with that. It's just getting on the 5, which is stuck next to the 9. And Acero has left that shot in the 2. He's still got another easy enough safety shot here. But once again, a terrible safety. Oh dear. That was worse than the last one. Now Bill has to dig in here. And he's left himself short as well. Not a good shot in the 3. He's left himself below the 3. And so the cue ball's running, probably going to hit that 8 ball unless he draws it. Well, that's what he's tried to avoid it. So we've seen the standard has slipped there with these two guys. Couple of poor shots. Well, this time the angle that Acero's got means he's going to come over to the left rail and back over to the right rail. And that's short again. I think you can see it to pot it. You can just see enough of it. He needs to watch the scratch. Well, he's played it gentle and he's left himself a tough one in the 6. The danger was scratching in that left middle pocket, which he was aware of, and slowed the pace down to avoid that. But he's left a toughie. Oh, he's played that well. Now, how can he get to this 8? I think he can get to it without scratching. You can just roll it in gently down the rail. So, Bill had a chance there with that 2 ball that he potted, but he just didn't get enough beef into it to get up for the 3. And he's now trailing by 5. Needs a ball in the break. And he's not getting it. Now, does that one squeeze past the 5? I think it does. It's very tight. Yeah, he's hit it into the 5. It needed a really accurate shot. But all that means is Bill has a chance. Now let's have a look at the 3 ball. Well, that's tight. The 3 ball does go, but it does require an accurate pot to get past that 6 ball. And Bill's got to remember about the 4 as well. So he's got to work the cue ball here. It's a tough shot. But when you have to move the cue ball as well, well, he's played it in off the 6 and played it slow. Prefers to leave the long 4. Now, when he pots this 6 ball, the one thing he doesn't want to do is go off there and out here. He could easily hook himself on that 8 ball, so he'll probably leave it short. And if he can, he can pot the 7, the cue ball out that way for the 8 into the same pocket. And he's followed the line to perfection there. Well, this is a crucial rack for Bill to stem the flow and reduce the deficit by 1. Still trailing by 4, and the break's going back to Acero. Well, the table's sitting nice. If Bill can take advantage of this dry break. Oh dear, what's happened here? He's kissed a 7 and he's hooked himself. Now, any other day, well, even then that can't be jumped because the 7 ball's too far away from the cue ball. So just going to kick off the rail, try and pot the 2. We got it full in the face. Well, he's left nothing easy, so he's going to take a good shot in this 2 for Acero to get in. He could actually play the bank as well. The bank is on. It looks as if he's taking it in the top right. Well, that was really tough. Left himself on the 3 though, but it was a really difficult cut in that 2. So here's Bill's chance. He's got to get in this 4 in such a way he can get onto the 5. And I think he's pretty straight in this 3. He certainly doesn't want to finish straight in the 4. Well, he's got a slight... He can stun this hard and he'll make an angle to go over for the 5. Oh. Well, I don't think he can pot that. No. Because you're going to have to tuck it behind the 8. And Acero has the angle to kick it from the top end as we look here. Or the bottom end as we are now. Fair chance that this might go in this 5 ball. Oh. Well, it's another lifeline for Bill. But can he hold for the 6? Let's have a look at it closer. And that was the problem. It was very delicate to actually make the potting angle, and that's 5, and hold the cue ball for the 6, and that's why Bill's left it hanging. We've got to watch the scratch the middle pocket here. He's just going to play it with top to run off the rail. So Acero is opening up the gap even more. Now leading by 11 racks to 6 and just 4 away from victory in this afternoon challenge match. Bill's gone dry. The table's wide open. And this isn't looking good for Bill if Acero gets in here. There's a gap between the 7 and the 8, and that's what he's found. Played it perfect. He's actually got a nice little angle in the 3, and he can draw off the 3 down to there. He needs to avoid traffic though. He might actually draw it harder and go to that rail. Let's see what happens. I think it's more likely to go at the second line. Yeah. Oh, he's played that well. Has he? Oh, that's unlucky. Just a bit too much juice. Well, Bill's still got a chance. He's still got a glimmer in this rack. Well, Acero will settle for that. He's left nothing. 4 balls stuck to the rail. And Bill can only try and run for cover here. Well, that 4 balls off the rail. I think the bank's on. It's just enough off the rail to allow the bank. Well, Acero decided against it, and he's played another pretty poor safety there. And to put it simply, Bill has to get this. Should be fairly straightforward. Just roll through to leave the roll in the 8 on the right middle. He'll drop down for the 9. Well, he's going to be taking it long now. Same thing though, just a little roll through. So it's 1 back. Acero breaking again in rack number 19. Two balls going into the top left. 1 ball's going into the middle. Well, he's got a bank on in the 3 ball. Played it well, drew the cue ball back for the 4. Well, this is going to be a good shot to get nice on this 5 because it's blocked by the 8 ball into the top right. I think it is anyway. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. And I think, how does that look? Oh, he's just made it. Well, off the top rail, forward and onto the right rail would be the plan. So it's now 12-7. The racks are running out for Bill. the 3 ball's gone. He can drop the 1 into the middle, but that wouldn't be the shot. The one to get on the 2 is to take it long into that top pocket and hold for the 2. And he's just managed that. And now he's out of line. That kiss in the 9 has left it more difficult for Bill. The angle's not great in this 5. That 8 ball's in the way. And he's drawn it onto the rail to avoid the collision with the 8. And now it needs a little delicate cut in the 6. And he needs to control the pace. Well, that'll do. Big open table to get on the 8 ball. Shouldn't be a problem. Of course, when it's alternate break, it's very difficult to get a rhythm because, as well as you know, you just do well to win this rack, the break can immediately go back to your opponent and you don't get another shot in the next rack. So Acero breaking off in rack number 21, leading by 12 racks to 8, just needing 3 more for victory. Well, these balls seem to be breaking pretty good today. They're breaking good, but there are not many of them going in. And Bill's got no shot in the 1. Well, what's he thinking here? Off the top rail, side rail. Well, he went to play the ambitious shot there, but he's just given ball in hand to Acero. Right, so we'll look at that 2 ball. 2 ball goes past the 9. Acero's gone a little too far. And that 3 ball goes past the 9 as well. Oh, he's knocked it in off the 9. Well, that's changed it, because the 9's now blocking the 3. And that might be Bill's lifeline right there. Oh, that's a good shot. I didn't think he could get that thin enough to play the billiard, but he played it excellently. And he's now 13-8 in front. This time, Bill's broke. 1 ball and a 6 ball have gone. He's got a thin 1 in the 2. Where's the cue ball ending up though? Well, he's got no shot. And this is taking a similar turn like the last rack. He's going to have to kick at the 3. Oh, he's kicked it in this time. Needs to hit that 7. He's still got a shot in the 4, but this is going to be good. Oops, wrong button. 1, 2, 3, miss the 7, and he's done that, and that's beautiful. Perfect on the 5. And he's also got a good angle on the 7. Roll it in, roll onto the the right side rail, and back over for the 8 into the top right. And don't forget, Bill broke this rack, so it'll be Acero in the next one. And 13-9. I'll try. Unfortunately for Acero, he's not left anything easy here for Bill. You can see 2/3 of the 1 ball, and he's trying to cut this into the right middle. Well, the 2 ball is still tied up by the 5, so not a lot to be gained in trying to pot the 1 here. Went for the bank. He's got the bank, but as I say, there's nothing to be had out of this 2 unless he's playing the billiard onto the 5. It looks like it. Catch the edge of the 2, billiard the cue ball onto the 5. And that was well played. Did his best to hold for the 2. And that just proves even I get it wrong. He went all out for the bank, got the bank, and got good position to play the billiard there off that 2 onto the 5 ball. So it's now all or nothing. And well, I don't think he's gone far enough, has he? No, he can cut that in. He can cut it in. Needs to be very thin. Cue ball probably hit the 4. And this is where he's just riding his luck here to get a shot in the 4. Well, he's managed to avoid the 4. Well, it's going to be another thin one. Or a bank. The bank would be the best opportunity to get the cue ball up the table for the 6. Look where the 6 is. So let's see what he decides. And that 8 ball is just in the way. Well, he's played the cut, but it was always very difficult to know exactly where the cue ball was going there. So he's scratched, and ball in hand for Bill. Well, that's a slight problem. He's straight. Now that needs a bit of bottom left to kick it right. Well, he's kicked it right a wee bit. And now he can play a delicate drop into the right middle, and he'll be on the 9. So this to get to double figures in racks. So Bill is back to trailing by 3. And it's Bill breaking off in rack number 24. Needs a ball. Desperately needs a ball in the break. But he needs the 7 to do him a favour, and I don't think it has. He's come up dry. And Acero can see the 1, no problem. That's short. Tight cut on this 3 ball. Cue ball going to be running over the right hand side and back across. And he's just squeezed it in. And now he's almost in full control. He can drop the 4 in and leave that 5 into the right middle. And what's the angle like? Well, the angle is good. Just skim past the 8 ball and drop down onto that 6 into the top right as we look. Now, is that a bit straight? Oh, he's got a slight angle. And that's pretty well judged. Cue ball go off the end rail, possibly the side rail on the right hand side, and up the top end of the table for the 8 ball into that left middle. Well, he can draw back. So Bill just cannot get onto Acero's coattails here. He just keeps opening the gap. And it's going to be a struggle for Bill to get anything out of this match now with the alternate break. And Acero breaking off in rack number 25. Gets a ball in the break. The 5 ball is gone. How does that look for a cut? Well, he isn't cutting that in. Might play the cross bank. That's what he's tried. Now Bill can just push that 1 onto the 8 over the top right hand corner. Needs to play it gentle though. Needs that 1 ball to stay very adjacent to the pocket. And Bill's problem's going to start when he pots this 1 and the 2 ball, because the 3 ball is tucked behind the 9 and it doesn't go other than very delicately into that middle pocket. It's very, very tight angle. So the best Bill could maybe get here is a good snooker. And I think that's what he's going to be looking to do. Needs to get the 3 ball to the rail and try and stick the cue ball on the 9. It'd be a brave man to try and drop that 3 ball into the right middle. He's going to have no shot in the 4. So he's played the snooker. And Acero has to kick. And he's looking at going around the corner. I think the angle's there to do it. Yeah. 2 rails, possibly 3. Might kick in behind the 3 or might hit it direct. Oh, well, there's a bonus. An even bigger bonus if he finishes in the 4. And that's the only thing that's saving Bill's neck here in this match at the moment. Acero having to kick at the 4 this time. An easier kick. And just like the last shot, you just have to ride your luck. Hope you get lucky. Well, if it gets to the rail, it hasn't quite got there. And Bill can certainly cut the 4. He needs to play another little delicately controlled shot to get on this 6. And he's gone the long route to get there. And this has to just be dropped in. He's just got to pick that potting angle, drop the 6 in, and drop the cue ball onto the top rail. And now he can come back off the 7 and take that 9 into the right middle. Oh, he looks as if he's rolling through. No, he is coming back. That looked a simple enough shot, and that's the one he's played. So in goes the 9. It's now 14-11 to Acero, and Bill breaking off in rack number 26. Now is the 8 ball going in, I think. No shot in the 1. Now you can just feather that left edge of the 1 and tuck the cue ball behind the 9 and the 7. Well, this is his chance. Ball in hand. Study the table. Look at the lay of the balls. And plan your route out. That's exactly what you do. So the 1, the 2 and the 3 aren't going to be a problem. The 4 goes past the 6. 5's up over the right hand corner pocket. And you would say it should be fairly straightforward. And the better control you keep of the cue ball, the less distance it has to travel, the easier it is to get on the next ball. Well, the one that's going to be a slight problem is that 7 ball. That could be the stumbling block here. Well, if Bill gets on the 6, he's actually dead straight in the 6, so he can only go back the way. It's a big draw, and he's going to try and take this. Well, can he get on that? Oh, that's a good shot. That was asking a lot of accuracy to get nice on that 7, and he's done it. He doesn't want to run too far. Well, there you go. He's in no man's land. And the cut's on into that middle. Just got to go for it 100%. And in it goes. That was well done. A good run out under pressure. But the break goes back to Acero. Needing one more to win the match. And Acero's come up dry, and Bill will really be desperately trying to snatch this rack, because he's got the break in the next one, and that could turn this match right at the death. His first problem though is getting on the 3. He's got a good angle to drop behind it and play it long into the top left hand corner, and he's judged the pace well, and probably just a run through. Needs to watch that middle pocket though, the left hand middle. And he's just chickened out a bit there. He didn't get the running in it, and now he's got a nasty little cut, and he needs to watch he doesn't hook himself behind the 9 here. Well, that's handy. Oh dear, what's happened though? He's kissed the 9, and he's still blocked himself in the 5. Well, this is the old hit and hope. And that's the only thing that was going to happen there, is getting out of shape. So Acero, well, he looks to be home and dry. Just a formality of picking these off. And the 9 ball's actually in a better position. It's closer to the rail rather than being up in the middle of the table. So it means that the margin of error is greater in getting on the 9. If he finishes short, he'll still have a cut. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Well, there you go. Well, Bill will just have jumped out his chair there. A simple enough shot to get down onto the 9. Acero's scratched. And now Bill has got it back to trailing by just 1, and he's breaking off. And the 2 ball's gone in. And that 3 ball's done him a favour. It's nudged him into a better position than the 1. Well, we might be going all the way here, folks. I say might because it's not a good table to try and run out, the way the mess of the balls are up at the top end. But, well, you worry about that when you get there. In the meantime, you've just got to pot the 1 and the 3. And if the worst comes to the worst, Bill's got a good opportunity to play a good safe up at the top end. Well, he's went all out, trying for a bit of luck. He's not got it, so let's see what the best thing he can do here. He can drop right in behind that 6 and 9, nail the cue ball. Oh, the danger's on though, because Acero could kick the 4 into that middle pocket. But the 6 and the 9 are tied up, so there's a lifeline there for Bill. Now, where's he going? Well, he's kicked the 4 in. That was always a danger. Now, Bill himself could be in trouble here if Acero doesn't try and do anything over elaborate with this pot and the 5 ball. But he can certainly put Bill in trouble on this 6. Oh dear. Well, maybe he was putting too much thought into it. And Bill's looking at this 6, 9, 8 combo. That looks pretty good to me. That's going to be all or nothing. He needs the cue ball up to here to be able to play that. Well, what's he tried? Oh dear, Bill. Well, I think the combo would have been the best bet, and that could be Bill's last shot. Ball in hand after the scratch. And Acero's just nudged the 9. Oh dear. What the hell's Acero doing? Well, I think he's getting a bit excited here. Well, Bill needs to go all out. Cut the 7 off the right rail, the left rail, and back out into the middle of the table. He needs to get there. And this isn't a difficult cut. He doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. The cue ball's natural path's going to leave him on a 9. And we are going all the way. Well, there you go. Strange things happen in a game of pool. We're now 14 all. Final rack decider. But Acero has the break. And Acero's breaks have gone dry these last few racks he's had. But he's left nothing for Bill again. So Bill has the push. And you've got to be careful with this push. Well, Bill could be in trouble here if Acero gets the control of the cue ball. Could drop in behind the 7 and the 5. And that's pretty good. Well, Bill can swerve around the 7 and he can catch the edge of the 1. He can certainly do that, but it's got to be accurate. If you hit it too hard, the spin won't take place. So he's played left English off the top rail to kick it, and that's, well, he'll settle that. That'll do him any day, but he'll be in trouble in a minute if Acero can get the edge of the 1. Oh, well, just a tiny margin of that 1 ball showing. I don't know whether he's looked at it closely. He doesn't fancy hitting it direct. He might smash this because that 9 ball's adjacent. Has he got away with it? He certainly has. And what's the path like to the 1 ball? The path is not good. Now it might be worthwhile trying to tie something up here, because I think well, he's going for the masse, and it was hit too hard because the masse didn't take effect. Plus the fact I think it was just too close as well. So it is ball in hand to Acero. The 9 ball meanwhile has been knocked over the right hand corner pocket at the top end. Now can Acero hold his nerve? We've seen some strange misses in the last couple of racks. Left himself high in the 2. Well, it looks fairly simple, doesn't it? 4 ball, 1 sit spotted. That opens up the pocket for the 5 and the 7 in the top left. Well, the shot here is a draw off that 3 onto there and out. And he's stunned it into the jaws. So there's some bad misses here by Acero at the wrong end of the match. And he's almost getting away with it. And Bill's got the 3-4 combo. And he's tried to play it as delicate as he can to hold the 3, and that was a good shot. And now he can drop in behind the 5. Oh dear, he didn't want the kiss in the 5. It's all gone wrong. Well, is he going to play the bank onto the 6? Or is he going to go for the cut into the middle? He's played the bank. He needs a bit of luck and he's not got it. He's hooked himself behind the 7. And this match is swinging either way here, but a big hit and hope here for Bill. Well, I would have to settle for that because he's left it awkward. It cuts both ways, but both of them are very difficult. And Acero is putting a lot of thought into it. And where's the cue ball going? Is it going in behind the 9? Oh dear. Well, that is horrible luck. Well, great luck for Acero, but horrible for Bill. I don't believe Acero played the safety there. He played the pot. And if that keeps running, well, no prizes for guessing what Acero's going to be doing here. He's going to be playing the 5-9 combo. There's about 2 foot gap at least between the 2 balls. But this for the match. Well, he's played it the other way. Played the billiard. Excellently played. And, well, it's a match we didn't think was going to go all the way, but Acero eventually won it in the final rack decider by 15 racks to 14. And that concludes our afternoon challenge match, folks. And we will see you again.